what's up? Like,
How did you describe it to me during the drafting phase? Look at that grin. What is even that grin? It's like, can we just go back and have Sumail's face just permanently like over the hero? That's all we need.
He's probably smiling wider like right now at this moment, especially when I mean I told you there's no way they're picking Fada anything other than DK here. Yeah, he could go Invoker, but
well, we were having this. Okay, so Kyle and I were having this debate during the drafting phase. It's like, okay, you know, like I think it was like Purge's favorite thing. Like you're playing to stay alive or you're playing to win, and it feels like it's like, well, DK could be picked, but where's your playmaker that doesn't require a blink dagger, that doesn't require everything else, and just assume that your lane is going to be either even or lost based on game one. It's and how do you influence this as a DK? Like, does DK ever win a lane against Queen of Pain?
No, but he doesn't get dumpstered.
Yeah,
and there's no way
he doesn't get dumpstered. They will have an opportunity.
PPD is playing a win, right? And there's no way he's picking Fada anything but DK or Viper in this scenario. Like, it's got to be something that you know at least. And I think that because Fada's playing DK, EG went for the core Shaker, which is just a more valuable core throughout the game than an Axe, because you don't have that same roaming potential on a DK. They're going to just let the Quap DK trade mid, and Axe is just now a better laning support. He can be bottom with the Terror Blade, and it frees up this really nice Dazzle Shaker off lane. And later on in the game, man, I mean, Shaker, we saw Boxy's build that treads Aghanims. I'd be very surprised if S4 didn't do the same. And I said it to the panel, but I really don't like Bane Coddle in this game.
Watch the Coddle, though. Coddle mid is going to be the place to be. Why is Slacks on the Observer PC? That's not weapons. I want a professional. I do not want Slack. Get out of there. This is why we're watching bottom lane. We weren't even looking for the courier snipe because Coddle TP'd out.
Man, we're having way too much fun at this event. I love it.
Yeah. Good times. Good times. Bad slaps.
So
we watched the CS battle in mid. At least it's almost even. Yeah, it's early on. It's early days.
If Quap doesn't really win this lane, it's just not possible. DK has more damage whenever he breathe fires you, and you can't actually harass a DK. Quap wins lanes through pressure, keeping the enemy low, and then looking to find a kill. But
do you even like at that point you don't even level up Shadow Strike again, right? You leave it at the 1.
I think if there was a lane to do it in, it's this one. So yeah, that's what I would expect.
And then just look for the burst damage, because that's what I was like in game 1. Sumail's movement, like his rotation with the Ember, was so fast, it was so efficient. Obviously, he kept on the front lines because he was able to remnant, like just TP back and remnant out again. A little bit harder with the Queen of Pain because she needs to be able to maintain control over the runes. But I was still looking for the burst damage, just rotation. But he did actually go the second point up in Shadow Strike.
And you can see Fada put the second point up in Dragon Blood.
Mind control. He actually had a really good game last game. It was just massively eclipsed by the plays of Sumail. And now he gets to spill first blood. And, yep, Crit will come back and give him some life.
I like Coddle Centaur a lot more than Coddle Tiny as far as kill potential goes. You can see Sumail, like, he's so greedy with the courier. He already used it twice. He's going to use it again as soon as it's back in base to get the salve, and just the circlet and the mantle he brought out right away on individual uses, just because he has more damage now and he can pressure the DK even harder. Salve popped by Fada. He actually skipped Blink on Sumail to try and pressure harder for kills.
Just straight harass the lane. If you walk close enough up to the DK, like, there's still 2 points of Dragon Blood. Like, Fada can tank through this, right? Like, it's no real issue for him.
Surprisingly, Fada went for a bottle. I usually see DKs go Soul Ring, but he's actually just so afraid of Sumail's pressure that he's making sure that he all has optimum sustain, even if it's a bit worse if you don't get the runes.
Yeah. Is that just when, I'd say, like, you can bring supports in to handle the runes, but NiP, like, both of those supports have to stay in the lane.
Yeah, and man, top lane, Shaker Dazzle against a PL. Like, you counter this lane so hard. There's 17-5 versus 14-0, which is actually a bit weird. I think you can do better, but as the levels scale, PL gets to a point where you can't touch creeps, because if you catch a stun into a heal bomb, you're now forced to salve or walk back to base.
Yeah. I guess the bottom lane harass has been pretty good for NiP. They are building up stick and one charges onto the EG players every single time with those abilities being spammed out. But Mind Control feels a lot more confident just to stand on the front line. With the Ring of Health, having the stick charges available, the extra block to simple regeneration. Mind Control can just blast through, and you'll always have the mana for the hoof stomp.
It's kind of the same story in this NiP off lane, where as the levels advance, you're going to eventually have a sustained advantage. You've already got the Ring of Health up on the Centaur. He'll have full mana at all times because of Saksa, and they can just continue to apply pressure until eventually TB's in trouble.
This is really good.
Yeah.
The Keeper of the Light moves off the lane for a very short span of time, but it's nice to mail. Just the haste rune.
Sumail's up like a lot of CS all of a sudden.
22-8 to the 14-4.
Yeah, he must have crushed the last 2 waves real hard. I wasn't watching, but wow.
A lot of damage up on top lane. PPD's having some hard times getting away from S4. At the same time, there's still more regeneration in the hands of NiP. I say that when they're going up against a Dazzle.
Top 3 CS in the game, all EG heroes, but bear in mind, Coddle's taking a lot out of the bottom lane. Still certainly a win for NiP. They are slightly ahead in the game.
Yeah. Good time to push out the lane too. This now is for the 5-minute bounty runes. So they get both on bottom, and it's a split up on top between NiP and EG.
But the concern, though, with this draft from NiP is they don't have any real sustained damage output until PL is huge. And that's going to be a big problem for them. They need to find kills with the initial stun combo in mid lane. Sumail not going to go for it.
He won't
3
jump.
points Shadow Strike, by the way, going full lane domination. You can see Fada's feeling a lot of pressure, and part of that's due to just the lack of any regen items. He has no stick, no soul ring, so he's completely reliant on that Dragon Blood, which isn't preventing the massive damage output from the Shadow Strike.
So hilarious watching Mind Control just playing around with crit. These 2 tanky heroes. A little bit more tanky on the Centaur. Just walking up close and baiting out the hoof stomp. Because it's trying to sync with the blast from Coddle.
Terrorblade's so hard to play against Coddle because one blast just takes you down to half HP.
I'm loving this from NiP though. Like, they keep moving off to make sure there is no runes coming the way of Sumail. They're being right on top of this. And it's actually Fada who gets to bottle up the DD. So it's going to give him some better times in mid. Try and help repair that deficit. 33-13 for Sumail to the 24.
Yep.
And that's 20 and 4 for the DK.
If Sumail's on this form, I think this is how you have to play against him. Put a lane matchup that he can't dominate in mid, and then control his runes. Because, yeah, sure, he'll still win the lane 34-15 to 21-4, but at least he's not just single-handedly taking over.
Yeah. They got a little lucky as well for EG, the fact that Observer was just out of range of the sentry in the mid lane, but on top, Fishes around, PPD's copying a lot of damage, S4's got another control through the totem, but not enough damage to follow through into PPD, and even if he did, the Nightmare was still available for the Bane. They're going to fortify on both sides, just try and play with the equilibrium of the mid as Crit. He's done his rotation, the Observer board from NiP sees him coming from a little bit away.
He saves the Battle Hunger to ensure that the Free Fire comes out first. Well played. And S4 does go for the Treads build, so I would not be surprised to see him get that Ags. It's one of those things that you see happen throughout the duration of a tournament where someone does something that the pros recognize as really good. And I think the first thing in this event that we all saw was that Boxy Shaker. And that new core Shaker style, I think we'll see this entire tournament because it was so good.
Oh boy, Arteezy really committing onto Mind Control, going for the reflection. Doesn't stay up long enough, however, and there is a level 2 Illuminate available, but Arteezy turns around still once more, creates a copy. And they got extra help. Crit coming in from the side. He doesn't find the target instantly, sees Saksa for half a second, but he doesn't want to commit too hard. They're looking for that 8-minute bounty rune to try and hold it this time for the Queen of Pain. But already you see Fada. He moves towards the top, and they're going to play the odds game.
This is so weird for Sumail. He's going
and
Veil.
His Fada with the regen rune.
He's going Veil, no boots, max Shadow Strike. So just fully in for the lane domination, not looking to rotate. I have not seen this style of Quap played, really ever. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out because he won't have the ability to shove lanes for quite some time, and his blink cooldown is going to be very long. So it's going to be about him dominating this mid lane, extending the laning phase, which should be fine for EG as they're ahead in all 3.
S4's out way too far. They start up the channeling of the Coddle Blast, and this is going to hit S4 pretty hard. Combining with the Brain Sap, he begins the TP with the Shallow Grave, and they both go out in sync together. No Nightmare available, no other stuns up, and the rotation does not pay off for NiP.
That's really good calls there from S4 and Fly. I assume that was Fly's maneuver, just calling for the double TP. They knew the stuns were on cooldown. A really nice play, because it forces the rotation. Sure, you're going to miss a creep wave, but Ace is going to push that lane in. Maybe you miss a creep or two. It's no big deal.
Small communication problems. Hopefully they'll fix it up pretty soon. This game looks a hell of a lot better than game one.
Yep.
Like the difference is still like within 1,000, both gold and experience of the two teams.
Yeah, I think this is just more respect in this draft for EG from NiP. More about conservative play, ensuring that even if they fall a bit behind, though they do have a slight lead, it's not getting dumpstered. Like, don't pick some lineup that's so greedy that if EG starts getting momentum and snowballs, that you have no recourse to come back. Just make sure that you can get to that 15-minute mark. You know, that's step one, and then you can try and close out a game. But again, the big concern is as you hit that mid game before Coddle has Ags, where's your sustained DPS coming from? EG's got a lot of options, especially once S4 picks up an Ags.
Yeah. And NiP is still going to be okay with this. Like they're still getting towards those items. EG are not forcing the issue just yet. This isn't going to be anywhere near as fast a Blink Dagger on the Axe. As you said, as long as the lanes push out, PPD, can he Nightmare? Yeah, he will over on crit. And this is a pretty isolated Axe. He has Call available, as well as TP, so they can't actually get the kill straight away.
And you can see part of the issue, though, is that now that Shaker top is level 6, even before so, you can see Ace has to leave the lane. It's a big problem for NiP.
Terrorblade stunned up on the bottom lane, and they have enough control to bring him down in time. Dragon Tail and Hoof combining with the Breathe Fire. And Double Edge finds the kill, and they want to get aggressive. The Nightmare from the Stampede from Mind Control and to close the distance on the Axe, but yeah, there's not enough follow-up. They still want as many of the bounty runes as possible. The Fly takes both the ones on top.
Smells to be real conservative with this Blink. It's still just level 1. He's going for that max TPS build. Veil, no boots. Fada's in trouble.
Now, stuns out. From the sides, Mind Control wants to help out. PPD, well, there's the call. The Nightmare's going to switch over. Just goes between them. Nice hoof stomp into the double edge. Samael brought down, really did not have as much damage as he probably thought he did. And now it's Crit who's on the run. The Breathe Fire from Fada will secure him the double kill. And Evil Genius's a crisp game 1 is now a wonky game 2.
Yeah, and Sumail, he got caught there. He wanted to ult, canceled it, and then to blink away, he had to turn. And in that time, Centaur was able to close, find the stun, and the burst damage was there. And that's part of the issue with the Quap, right? You're 950 HP. You catch a couple of spells, and you're just going to die. And a bit of a miscue there.
They can't really afford this. Like, feeding those 2 huge kills over to Fada. He's now #1 of the net worth, 4.3k.
Yep. This is, I will say, Sumail, one of the, if not the best core when he's ahead. But in a game like this, you've got to be a little more controlled. You can't just run lane to lane and dominate. You've got to be a lot more controlled and calculating. And there's, if he has faults, I would say, being a bit impulsive.
Just seems very odd seeing like Sumail trying to harass out when you got Mind Control as well as Fada on bottom lane. Like these are the 2 heroes that he doesn't have the damage to kill, even with the Veil.
It's cool that both teams mirroring movements around the map where they send both of their carries mid, because TBPL have real hard times laning against the off laner for each respective team.
Well, Dragon Tail stun out over on Crit. Follow-up stuns there from Mind Control. No denial from Creeps this time around. And Fada claims yet another kill. That's his 3rd kill out of the 5 that NiP have.
Another reason Veil is super cool is that it applies only to the real PL. So if you catch him post-Doppel with Veil, you immediately identify which one is real.
Nice little tip to look out for. NiP smoking to the bottom lane. Fada again on the move. Come underneath the Observer Ward, it's Fly who's there under the tower, Stampede forward, gets the stun, PPD with the Brain Sap will ensure the kill. Fada didn't need to be here, but they will try and use the time to push the mid lane, but that's where EG is already moving up. The Echo Slam, instant hit, and the double stun, but it cuts off Crit from Ace.
Wow.
You'll still get the kill over on Zuxa.
And really well played by EG there. Again, the Fisher just off the mark by maybe 50 units, but very questionable from NiP there trying to defend this tower. They only lose 1, which could have easily been 2. And like we said, Ace is the form of sustained damage for NiP, unless Fada can just go off. And I will say, Fada has an incredible DK, and I like his itemization. Gets that bracer for the early DPS, and he's going to go Shadow Blade. You cannot go Blink in a game like this because you're just going to fall off, and they need DPS. So this Shadow Blade into probably BKB or Maelstrom, I think that's definitely the way to go.
The fact that Fada is even able to be looking towards building this item soon is the biggest upside for NiP.
I mean, we knocked on Fada hard last game, but
we did.
He is a DK player. You can trust him on this hero, and I'm very glad that that was the selection for him.
It was kind of like the last obvious one, but the concern was just what the EG supports would do, like when they would rotate around, like if they'll be able to just lock down control compared to like the Bane Coddle. That's where our concern was really sitting, but NiP have risen to the task, and EG's influence with their rotations have not been anywhere near as dominant as Game 1. And this just changes the scope of Game 2. NiP still being pressured on top lane. Fada's going to arrive, gets Dragon Tail stun over on the real Terrorblade. They'll be able to get through all of the copies and keep the pressure up. And they stampede. They want more help to come forward, and Mind Control's got it without any Sunder.
Yep.
He went for a 1-4-4. There's no way to switch that life.
It was a great punish from NiP. They knew that there was no teleport on Sumail. He went to that bottom tier 2, and they're going to chase for more.
Yeah, Dragon Tail stun. The Illumina's going to fly out as well. The Blinding Light pushing Fly back in to the range of PPD and Fada as PPD who claims the kill.
Yeah, because bear in mind, Sumail really can't fight, and he's going for a late game flop build. The key for NiP is going to be to close out this game in the mid game. They need a Roche with the Kata Lags timing, and they've got to have a huge PL. Because this build from Sumail, Veil into Lincolns, into either, Shivas, Orchid, Maelstrom, something of this point, you're playing for level 25 on Plop in this sort of game, and you have a Terrorblade, you have a Dazzle, the Shaker. Your late game team fight from EG is going to be nigh unstoppable. They have BKB piercing save and disables, and again, NiP's only real carry hero is going to be this PL, so they need to keep applying pressure and take out that mid tower as soon as possible.
If NiP, if they keep going like this, they will be up to that challenge. Ace is getting more farms, the Diffuser Blade is going to make life a little bit more difficult. These supports don't have high mana pools, but expensive abilities like the Dazzle. Burn through everything, he goes through like 3/4 of his mana pool.
Look up top, S4 almost has Ags. They're trying to hunt him, Summon coming in.
He's trying to keep this very secret too. Like, you could just also buy the Blink Dagger, but instead, just TP out, Ags first, it's always nice.
That's Spidey senses from S4.
He goes all the way home too. Buys up his 3-1 case.
I like the build from Fly. We've seen a lot of Dazzles go brainlessly 3-1-1 or 2-1-2. He gets that 1 point poison touch, but Grave is just so valuable of an ability. I'd be very surprised if that wasn't the first spell he maxed in this game.
You want to have that maximum amount of range. That way he's not putting himself at heavy risk of the initiation of NiP.
Yeah. It's just a cooldown. It's so important to have a 15-second Grave in a game like this. Because NiP's whole lineup revolves around finding that initial target with the burst combo, the Blink Centaur, Shadow Blade DK, somebody goes down, and then you stampede to find further.
Pressure from Ace on bottom lane. Fada's trying to hang around, make the most of this Shadow Blade. Because he was denied that kill over on top, Fada's kind of been in limbo for a little bit.
He's on Sumail. Ace could be in trouble here. That Veil will be huge if they bait the Doppel, but here comes Peter and an Invis DK.
Yep. Turn very, very quickly. Remember, you still got the Stampede for NiP to try and bail out. Yeah. Not to mention, Centaur has completed the Blink Dagger, so Mind Control's got a jump of his own.
And really great warding from Peter as well in this game. This trio of wards that he's got, this defensive one in his top jungle area is sniffed out Fly's rotation, and then they've got one on mid tower and another on the bottom shrine. So optimum map control for Dire here in very important places. Doesn't pay just to have wards up. You want to ensure they see areas of the map that you're trying to play around. So PL safeguarded bottom, and this makes it a lot easier for Soxa to continue to play top safely.
Yep. Fada's being pulled up towards the top. So we get to work with Soxa, but at the same time, Aghanims is there for S4. So he's ready to jump at Fada. He slips in around the back. He's starting over on Fly. Wants to make sure there's no Shallow Grave, but the Fissure, it'll create space and the Shallow Grave. Fly will begin its run, but with the weave, they're thinking twice about it. TP out from Fly will be successful. Gets regeneration from the fountain to make up for the dot effect, but a little bit deeper in. Mind controls on the run away from Sumail. Blink forward. Dragon Tail stun from Fodder. It's good to keep Axe away.
They have the defusal on PL, so this is not a fight EG can take easily.
Don't know about this jump forward, Ace. Phantom Rush was on cooldown, so he didn't quickly follow up.
Yeah, really, well, both teams, you can't really take fights into the enemy side, because while I've been saying NiP is burst damage heavy, I think EG, they're looking to play the same, especially once Dazzle is out of the fight. You don't really have the sustained damage until the meta Terrorblade is up and BKB'd, and that's not going to be online for a bit. They didn't have meta for that engagement, and you just can't contest a PL defusal without all of your cooldowns ready, and they want to play fights the same way. Initiate with the dunk, with an axe call, find an opening kill, chase for more.
What a ward, just watching S4 move away. They wanted to actually hunt and probably get down a fresh Observer ward on PPD. A 3-man smoke up, and then it's the same for Evil Genius. There's a 3-man smoke up, and now they're heading into the Dire jungle. It's pure mirror strat. It's just a little bit of an echo delay.
Yep. You need Fly behind the Terrorblade, though. Arteezy in a little bit of danger, but that's the beauty of Terrorblade. You don't actually need to push out the lane. You just send your illusion, because that's balance. I like the wards placed, though, as you said, from PPD. They refresh this one ward, well, they place a new one, actually, just in this area that will miss, that doesn't get dewarded by any of the sentries you traditionally place around this hill, either on top of it, to the right of it, or below it. It's a more advanced ward. Not quite as much vision, but far less likely to be countered. And they do refresh. This is the same exact concept with this one we placed on Ancients. It's really nice.
Much information, and hope it gets through full duration. Top tier 2 tower is getting brought down. Arteezy does not have to burn Metamorphosis for this. I'll make the most of this money. Sumail's building for Lincoln's. Arteezy's building for BKB after having the Dragonlance and Yasha already up. But NiP, they'll need a trade-off. Bottom lane will have to be it. Meanwhile, Bounding Rune's 20-minute mark. Time to secure.
Yeah. But bear in mind, this is that Radiant advantage where the towers they've taken, look at Roche and the map control they've established around the pit. They can't do it yet, but they always have that option. Dire, you're forced to play Radiant safe lane, and it's just so far from the pit. Yeah, you've got map control here, but all you're ever really able to do out of this is mirror. You can never threaten that big objective. And again, it's just the mirror, like the wards placed by Fly. He's got 2 that are in very difficult places to counter ward. He's sentried preemptively, so he's sure that he wasn't seen. And they've got control, again, over that critical Roche pit.
Cloud of Lags has arrived, so it took 20 minutes to get it up. But this is now very safe D-push, having that bonus during daytime, so...
Ward sentry, they found the DK.
Yeah, Fada jumps out, goes after the axe. Just a quick stun. You'll be okay. Even with Stampede, and they knew they had the Illuminate behind him.
And this is so cool. You see they actually sentryed out the ward. They didn't find it.
Smoking around the side. They're going to wrap a long way around? Or they're coming down. Look at this. It's a perfect circle. Arteezy is smack bang in the middle of this. They'll see him for half a second and realize with the new Observer ward where he is. But Arteezy, the pings are coming. They didn't scan for it. He just feels it. Shadowblade will wear off, and then the ping arrives.
Man, we Dota's game inches and seconds. You can see Arteezy, as someone was drawing, like, this is an unsafe area of the map. Exit immediately. And he makes it out just in time. I love this from EG, though. This is how you do it. Play as 4 in the enemy jungle. At some point, NiP is going to have to push out mid lane or check your positioning. And look at this. They're in a perfect position to hunt, but a dire scan, man. Both of these teams on point with their movement. So it's a low-scoring game. 1-8, 22 minutes in. But...
PPD. Oh, okay. Well, that Observer ward died pretty quickly. He put his own sentry down because he was worried there was vision in the lane. But everyone's been very creative with their ward placement, so it's difficult to find them.
Yep. And it's cool, too. The reason that they don't die there is because the PL and the Centaur were off-map as Peter ran up to ward. So, yeah, you could theoretically initiate, but because S4 has Ags and not a Blink, he's very... If he W's in, and then there's just a Centaur re-initiate and a PL, he's in big trouble all of a sudden, and their Terrorblade was too far away to assist. BKB finished on Arteezy. They might be looking to do Roche at some point. Bear in mind, daytime, 1 minute, 20 seconds away. Yep. That's when NiP's timing is to start making moves, take mid tower, look for Roche. And that's the part of the game EG would be most threatened by, so I'd like to see them look for a fight before that comes online. I
think that's what they're trying to attempt to do around the mid lane, but they'll start up Roshan before the daytime. The Blink Dagger did get picked up by Fada. He's showing it on the bottom lane.
This is big.
So they can jump into Roshan, but only if they know what's going on.
Yeah, but you can't fight it. That's the thing. Since it's nighttime still, you can't walk into a Shaker Axe lineup with a Dazzle Terrorblade. Crit has Blink as well.
PPD is nearby. And Roshan's already pretty low. 800, 700, 600, 300. Jump out. They're going to find the Dazzle, so a quick kill. But Crit, he got the call over on PPD, the Illuminate spam. He'll connect onto Samel, doing some quite heavy damage. But do they really want to commit? Getting out with the Aegis. It's going to be nice if they can survive, but 30 seconds time, you can have daytime in the blink forward. Samel, the Aegis already going to burn. And the Fiends could follow up instantly there, so S4 cannot give it, and it's just stun control after stun control from NiP. S4 and Samel will fall. The Aegis is instantly burnt. Samel has no buyback available, and now daytime is arriving in 10 seconds.
You ever wanted to know the difference between confidence and cockiness? We just saw that demonstrated right there. Crit ran topside, going to loop around back to the shrine. Arteezy's farming Ancients, and Sumel's just hanging out trying to CS mid. Of course you're going to go down. S4 tries to save him, but again, there's a Bane still. He just gets gripped right in the face, and boom, 2 kills.
Well, let's watch it again. So Roshan dropping quickly, but it wasn't the primary one. It's just Fly in the middle of nowhere.
Way out of position. He can't be playing there as a Dazzle. Roche is dying. Just retreat upwards. If NiP swarms the pit, that might be a favorable team fight for EG since they do have that Terrorblade DKB. But look at Sumel. He's just going to hang out.
Maybe they didn't know about Fada's Blink Dagger. He was underneath the tier 2 tower, but if they didn't look, if they didn't click, like, we at least get notifications about this type of stuff, or else Fly may never have been in that position.
And now they know, no meta. They have daytime. You can just siege here.
Yep. Even with the BKB on Arteezy, that's not enough to make him intimidating. Your Dragon form, like you even managed to save this. Like Fada is just beating into this mid tower.
Yeah.
The Illuminate will continuously heal him up, but NiP, they're not going to force the issue. Maybe they're still concerned about an Echo Slam. Maybe they're concerned about something else.
Yeah, and it's just
S4's coming out.
It's almost impossible for EG to fight at daytime if NiP is in a death ball because they don't have the vision to get on top of Bane or Coddle. And if you don't kill the Coddle, you don't have the damage output to actually win a team fight. That's a Centaur with a Crimson Guard, a DK, level 15. Doesn't have the highest HP, but 20 armor is considerable. And then you have a Hood on a PL going Heart next.
Stampede up, the jump comes already through. Crit got a pretty damn good call on the Echo Slam, finishing off PPD, but is this going to be worth it? ES has little to no mana, he's got 10 stick charges, and S4 buys some time, and the Shallow Grave Fly is going to be nearby. Buyback comes in from PPD, wants to help out a Sparta, jumping forward. They get the double stuns and into the back lines. S4 and Fly die so quickly, and the stranded Crit Axe on the wrong side of the tracks. Mind Control will be the trade-off. Samel able to claim the kill on him as he walks away.
I think you buy back the Centaur here and summon him in. You've got 30 seconds. It should be at least a tier 3.
And you just got a DD onto the Dragon Knight, so you got more push.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. Don't buy back, but they're going to be able to summon him in. So bear in mind, even though EG's heroes are going to come up right away, that Coddle advantage, you're going to have 5 to match EG as soon as they're prepared. And Glyph used already. This could be a Rax. There's no Shaker Dunk. Meta is up.
Yep. And the DD's now been triggered up by Fada, holding inside the bottle. Trade-off is trying to come in from Arteezy. So he's up on the top lane. Maybe he can go for a tier 3 tower and make NiP look behind him. The fortification comes in from the Dire side. And S4, he just wants to cancel any of these TPs back. And he's already got one. Centaur's beginning his TP out. It's going to be that split time. Mind Control gets the stun, but Arteezy knows what he's here for. The Crimson Guard's protecting the tower, but they just keep pushing forward. Arteezy, and maybe it's time to back out now as everyone back on their side of the river is fighting. Samela so low. Crit is waiting for the right time, but the Fiend's grip perfectly controlled from PPD. Holds Samel in position, and Axe stunned up as he runs out of mana. Also the stun from Fada. Perfect blink over. Both the supports down. There's buybacks available from Evil Geniuses. They did open up the top lane of Rax, but NiP still in full force coming down the mid. Metamorphosis will wear off in 2 seconds time. So Arteezy, this range damage, he gets summoned to pull the creep wave off, but they've lost mid Rax.
So impressive from Fada. 8-0-6 in this game, and part of what made that game one so incredible to watch was NiP is a damn good Dota team. These are experienced players. They've been around the scene for a while. I love the fire. This is why I love esports, baby, because woo, this is a grudge match, and you can see both these teams playing with intensity, and even though NiP got pretty dumpstered in that game one, they're saying, look, it's 17-3. They're playing near flawlessly as a squad, executing their lineups near perfection, and I gotta say, Fada's choice that I hadn't built, that Blink already paying for itself. He's found 4 kills so far. 2 in the Roche pit fight, 3 in that engagement, so I guess that's 5, but my math is off.
It was one of the Roshan fight that actually just won them the Roshan fight. Like, picking up the Dazzle so quickly means that NiP have done exactly what you're talking about. They're able to jump in, get that instant kill onto a hero, and then move on to the next. It's one after the other. Their stun control is perfectly chained because they're able to all be in the right position. It's like the intimidation factor that we were both expecting from EG. Where is that Blink call from the Axe? It's not as intimidating. The jump in from S4, they put him into the core role, but we haven't really felt a huge echo slam apart from just that one small little fight.
It's similar to the game we watched yesterday, Tigers versus Pain X. Yeah, In Your Dream has a bad game, looks like a bad player, but it's a near impossible game for a Magnus playing against a Venomancer that's going to always be able to control vision. It's the exact same here. At daytime, how do you actually engage? How do you play Shaker when you're up against map hacks? It's not possible.
Man, I just want to give massive props for NiP. Like, it was pretty crushing in game one. Of course, you did see Evil Geniuses be a little bit cocky here in game two, and that did give opportunities. But it works. Made in China. But it's the fact that NiP have been able to regroup themselves and come back. Yes, you looked at the draft. PPD used all of his time on that last pickup, but they came in, they worked out their plan, they worked out their focus, their mindset, and that's that experience of the players. Maybe now, a little bit of trouble. We shouldn't praise him too much or else PPD's going to die. He's trying to retreat back out again. The Nightmare dodge is real good. Trying to get up the hill. Crit, he's able to jump in. He gets the hit off, and maybe with the control, they try and stampede down the Echo Slam. Fada, he didn't get it off in time, but maybe with the stun control, S4 will finally go down. Buyback is out. Centaur wants to rejoin this fight. Crit, he's taunted up once again, both the PL as well as the DK. But that just seals his own death anyway. Retreat was out for both Arteezy and Samael. They get back to defend. And what did NiP really lose out of that? They brought back on the Centaur. They lost the Bane, but they claimed 3 in return.
And not just that. I was thinking NiP would have damage issues, but look at their cores. They have what feels like 3 strength cores. Yes, Centaur died in that fight, but think about how long it took. He has a plate mail and a Crimson Guard. And yeah, Sunder did half his HP, but you can't kill these heroes. And DK just out of range. S4 wasn't able to get the echo off. Maybe that would have changed things, but Quap at this point, he doesn't offer any sustained DPS. It's all about Arteezy's Terrorblade, and he just doesn't have the damage output yet.
Yeah, and that was even during nighttime. Like you can see, we're watching that's the end of the fight right now, but even with the blast, like there's no high regeneration. So you're talking about damage uses from Evil Geniuses. What happens during daytime when you're behind in vision and you're then behind in the amount of like sustain?
You're gonna have major issues, as we can see, and S4 is in some trouble.
He's coming
close.
So
is Arteezy.
Yeah, Arteezy's nearby, and they just start with the Nightmare. Flies there, BKB from Fada, so we can just start beating in towards S4. Won't care about, there is no Echo Slam anyway, but it's the Fiend's grip onto Arteezy. PPD will be brought down, so they get the Culling Blade off, and now maybe it's NiP who will bit off a little bit more than they can chew. Ace wants to come in through the rear, but Mind Control with the Hoof Stomper control. Arteezy still got the Thunder, he'll swap life with Fada. The stun will be out, but now more support. Crit is just going ham with a double kill from the Axe Culling Blade. He moves over for another target. Ace is wondering if he wants to get out or he moves forward. Arteezy is totally bone dry and he wants to jump forward with the lance. Support. Fada jumps forward with the stun. The Lincoln Spin didn't protect him in time, but S4 will do so with the vision control. They were trying to keep him away. The taunt gives the backline control with the blinding light. Pushing S4 back. He went for the dunk, but rejected. Saska wants more space. Maybe Samael stun up the control. Where's he gone? He's blinked up. He's actually been pulled back out again. And NiP retreat back out. My lord, that blinding light time.
Oh my god.
Show me that in slow motion, please.
Oh, that is so cool. And what a great interaction, right? Because I don't think it functions that way with like Tiny Toss, but because of the way Shaker functions, it obviously just denied him. That was a Keem Elijah stuffing S4 in the face. Great blinding light, as you said. Excellent buyback from Fada just to ensure that fight didn't get out of hand, but also well played by EG. They were sniffing out, waiting for that buyback. You could see Ace was like, come over with me, guys. I'm going to doppel up to the shrine. You can get me. And if they were to commit a little further, S4 with a great job pretending like he was going to pursue and then making sure to bounce away. Great taunts from Crit to save his cores. And wow, just great play all around. But
that's an interesting TP out, Arteezy. Your shrine is literally just being attacked and you're being deep water, but you're still TP out towards the shrine, probably thinking about Roshan. He is in that spawn window. We know he's got 35 seconds left. EG doesn't. That's the reason why you see them smoke up and they're coming out. But here's that little jump, and S4 jump in and about. Nope.
And man, here's the big fight. They have Butterfly on Arteezy. He spawed out. I love this call. You need damage. They know this. They're not going to win a fight unless the Terrorblade could be a huge threat.
They've literally just traded sides.
This is perfect. It's daytime, though, keep in mind.
Yep.
They see
smoke
the smoke
up from Evil Geniuses from NiP. They've got to swing my brain the other way around. And no one's quite certain. Okay, the smoke will break on EG. Roshan has now spawned up. Keeper of the Light sees all. Remember, it is daytime while they fight this. So Sarx is giving that extra vision. And Evil Geniuses are very uncertain about it, so they can just creep skip for the moment, even though there is a creep wave inside the base attacking the tier 4 towers.
This is how you have to play it, though, if you're EG. Because if they're in range of blinks...
They're starting Roshan? They're going to sit inside?
Yeah.
This is dangerous when you make more and more copies. You know ES will want to go for this.
But there's no way he can get in. They have a gem, they have a sentry down, they know where EG is. Look at Sox's positioning, it's flawless.
They just have to blink the axe. Like, Crit almost has to go this blind if they can't see in, and that's exactly what he does. He blinks in, they'll get the jump out. Samel, he was winding up for the ultimate, but now it's DK getting the follow-up stuns. Crit will be kept alive. There's the backline's mind control, controlling up the Dazzle, killing him off. Even if the Shallow Grave is there, there'll still be the axe falling. Roshan being contested, S4 versus Ace, the battle inside the cage fight. It's the pit. Buybacks come thick and fast from Evil Geniuses as they realize Arteezy, with no buyback, has been isolated on the stairs. No Sunder, no mana for it. He's down for 80 seconds without buyback. The rest of the supports arrive. Crit jumps in. He missed the call, but now here comes S4, but the Dragon Tail stun. Fada hit him in flight. Who's the real bird? Echo Slam comes, but the damage is minimal. Crit will die. I think they've burnt way too much. Samel can blink away to safety, but because he's mana leaked out, he can't get away. Fada is hot on the tails. He smells the blood, the dragon blood, and Fly is the sole survivor to defend this. Good luck. You are a word I didn't want to say.
That is pretty much the game, and NiP taking no chances. They're just going to say it's over. We're going for throne. You can see, you can't take that fight. You need to if you're EG, but it's near impossible. That's a hard put PL in the pit. You just don't do enough damage. There's 2 blasts from Soxa coming through. The initial sleep from PPD just to ensure there was no 100-0 combo that could be output. And thank God Ice Frog put a mana cost on level 3 Sunder. He was probably dead. Arteezy was probably dead anyway, but at least you couldn't use it because it cost 50. He was That's part of the reason PL counters the TB. Really well done by NiP. I cannot believe they were able to pull out a performance like that after the shellacking they received in Game 1. And I'm glad we get a series worthy of the upper